Seeing it all come together and knowing that the dog that we love them, that we've loved and worked with, is living their best life and helping people, and we are achieving our mission, that's better than any payment that we could have. And I think that any trainer here would say the same thing, honestly.
They're not the rich and famous. Their profit comes not from the thing they sell, but the good they do. Our nation has more than 1.5 million nonprofits that employ 1 out of 10 Americans, providing services that otherwise go unfulfilled, keeping our community connected when all else fails. But nonprofits often lack the tools to properly promote themselves, to inspire more donors and volunteers and clients to their cause. That's where I come in. I've been in the nonprofit world for nearly 20 years. I connect nonprofits with marketing professionals who donate their time and expertise so that, at the end of the day, these life-giving organizations can do more, do better, by creating more, that's right, buzz. A dog may be a person's best friend, but at least in the case of my dogs, when it comes to the walking and the feeding, the grooming and the poop scooping, it's a friendship that can take a lot of work. But for more than 150 Virginians with disabilities, as well as a group of inmates in a state prison, dogs quite literally make life meaningful and possible. On today's episode of Buzz, we are featuring the nonprofit organization that's responsible for raising and training these exceptional four-legged caregivers. And we are providing a marketing boost for its big annual fundraiser to make it even more, wait for it, positively phenomenal.
So St. Francis was founded in 1996 by Carol Willoughby and Sherry Spell, 2 women in the Roanoke Valley who have disabilities. And they founded St. Francis because they recognized the need for service dogs. First of all, Carol Willoughby had a service dog that she had privately trained for her own use, and it made such a profound difference in her life that she helped Sherry Spell to get a dog for her, and then the 2 teamed up and founded St. Francis to try to make it possible for more people to have service dogs. It grew from that, literally from their kitchen table, and into what we are today, 26 years later.
It does my heart good to be able to participate and contribute my veterinary skills and training. I help network with other veterinarians, so I'm not doing all the work. I don't see all these dogs and all these puppies, but I've been around long enough. I've got connections with the veterinary college in Blacksburg, and a lot of the local veterinarians who donate a lot of their time and money to help St. Francis. So, no, I'm here for the duration.
So we serve people with a wide range of physical disabilities, anything from, cerebral palsy to MS, people who have paralysis, people who may be amputees, rheumatoid arthritis, stroke, just a wide range of disabilities. We also work with children with autism. Dogs can be very effective in that case.
Our trainers do such a great job at the matching process. So what we're looking at is the needs of the candidate, the strengths and weaknesses of the candidate, and then we're looking at what dogs we've got coming up through training, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and then trying to put those 2 pieces together. So it is a bit of a puzzle, but the trainers are so good at it. They're so good.
What we gain by not matching them early is we really see what the dogs excel at. So we teach them a whole range of tasks and see if they're great at it. If they're great at bumps, does that person need a bump? If they're great at get-its, can the dog manage to retrieve a crutch, problem solve it? Is the dog persistent? So we're looking at what really that dog's strengths are, and then we're really able to match them much better to the person's needs in the end. And we're also looking at the dog's lifestyle. So exercise needs. What do they need to stay balanced? To be at their best when they perform, they need to be emotionally and physically balanced as well. So can that household easily provide what that dog needs to be ready and set to perform at their best?
Yeah, because they're not just getting a pet.
They're not getting a pet. They're getting a partner. They're getting a dog that's going to assist them in becoming more independent in the house, in the community. So many things that can have a positive impact on their life. And so there's a lot of work that has to go into that, and a lot of trust in us. So
So we want to produce dogs that are not only competent at doing the task work and know how to perform a task, but they know how to problem solve. They know how to be persistent. So we want these dogs to be able to, once they're given a task to do, that they can do it as independently as possible.
You can't really train a dog to predict that a seizure is coming on. This one dog somehow learned that, and that dog could anticipate when this young woman was going to have a seizure, and he would alert her that she should lie down on the floor, prepare herself, and the dog knew that he would stay by her side until the seizure passed, and then the dog could go for help. But it's truly amazing, some of these dogs, what they know.
So when they're out and about, they would give the dog maybe a credit card or a purse to hand to the cashier. And that little interaction is pretty unbelievable. When you're out there, and as trainers we get to experience it, because everybody looks and everybody delights in seeing the dog perform that, and so it brings joy. So here are these people that are out, and their wheelchairs disappearing, and they're bringing joy and conversation instead of feeling marginalized or invisible.
But then the things these dogs do, we placed a dog with a little boy who would fall out of his bed, and he was really anxious to be in a big boy bed and not have the guardrails up all the time. And so he would find ways to loosen them, but then he would fall out of the bed, and his dog started sleeping on the side of the bed, and so that when he fell out, he would roll onto the dog. And we didn't teach him that, but he's like, this is my boy, this is what I do, and he did it, you know. They're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. There are so many stories of the incredible kindness of these dogs and how they just make life better.
We hear these stories every day, and we love these stories every day, and it's amazing to be a part of that, and it fuels us to do even more and to do a better job. So
it's the first ingredient is love, and then we leave our heart, a little bit of our heart and soul goes with each dog. So it's, people say, how can you do this? How can you let them go? You know, how can you? Especially when we really are these people that know and appreciate this bond, this human-animal bond, more than I think your average person. So if you think of that, and then you think of how much we put into these dogs, how much time they are with us, field trainers, but the same for staff trainers, but the dogs I train, I'm with 24/7. And so by the end of the time that it's time to say goodbye to them, we're so much a part of each other's lives, and we're almost in each other's DNA. And then they go on, and it's kind of like they go on to that next final phase of their lives, and you want to see it work. You want to see them thrive. You want to see their lives be the best they can be, I think, you know. But it's not for the faint of heart, you know. Yeah.
Just like saying about your kids.
It is, and just like with kids, you want to see them live their best life, and you're proud of them, and happy for the people that get to have them in their lives, and happy for the time that you spent. Like, we have cherished those memories, and we spent that time, and she's part of our, it's just like a kid. They're part of our lives, they're part of our soul, you know.
There's a tremendous human-animal bond that occurs. Yes, they are working dogs. And when they have their vest on, they're all work. But that vest comes off during parts of the day and at night, and that dog becomes their friend, and that person is that dog's friend. And this bond is unbelievable, and it goes on for years and years. Truly heartwarming.
St. Francis's big fundraiser is Barks and Rec, a week-long event scheduled for April 17th to the 23rd, 2023. For Barks and Rec, St. Francis asks people from all walks of life to get pledges to do a daily activity with their pet.
I'm doing 7 peaks in 7 days.
I'm doing 10,000 steps a day.
I'm gonna play fetch with my dog.
They've raised more than $100,000 in the first 2 years and seek even more success in year 3.
The great thing about this event is that you can be anywhere. You don't have to be in the Roanoke Valley. In the years past, we've had people from many different states participate, and People can fundraise from many different states, and you can do your challenge in many different places. And that's great. That's one of the exciting things about this event, is that we can all come together and support each other, but you can do this from wherever you are. And we would love to see more and more people get involved and support us as we support people to overcome their challenges with the service dog.
When it comes to finding a marketing pro to help St. Francis, it didn't take much hounding for me to persuade Carrie Cousins. As Director of Marketing at Lead Point Digital, Carrie is passionate about dogs, so while she went mutts strategizing barks and rec, I embarked on a trip throughout Virginia meeting the human partners of these service animals. People like Felipe Aquino, a 37-year-old man from Northern Virginia with cerebral palsy, and his mother, Lindsay. In 2009, Felipe received his first St. Francis service dog named Ranger. Following Ranger's death in 2020, Felipe recently received his second dog, Brutus.
Without a dog, when Felipe was before St. Francis dogs, people would see Felipe in his wheelchair and be put off. 1, 2, 3, up. With a dog, they see the dog, and then they see the chair, and they're more inclined to be friendly, to cooperate, to interact. It's a big difference. The thing Felipe asked was that Ranger could pay for things, because Felipe could not. So we would put the money in a plastic bag, give it to Ranger. He would put his paws up on the counter, give it to the cashier. Then they would put the change back in the bag, give it to Ranger, and then he would give it back to us.
Wow.
So this was the one thing Felipe wanted the dog to do.
How was that experience? How was that?
Amazing.
Yeah, I go everywhere.
You went everywhere
Yep.
with him,
Yep.
and he was a great companion.
Yep. Depending upon. He speak
He spoke,
and book
very important.
and
Put
thing
put dirty laundry in the laundry basket.
and
Open doors with touchpads.
I pick up one thing.
He picked up the little this little handle would fall off his chair. Give it to me. Woo. Thank you. So what happened was that without a dog, and particularly now because people are fixated on their phones, people would walk into his wheelchair. There was no dog to distract them, and they just didn't see the chair. It became, we would laugh, it became a joke for us. It was truly bizarre. But with the dog, suddenly people see the dog, and then they stop, or they go around you. The dog makes an amazing visual and psychological difference to how people react to somebody in a wheelchair.
Any thoughts on that?
Sorry?
Any thoughts on why?
Because people are stupid.
Because if you don't know anything about disabilities, disabled people frighten you. They're an unknown quantity. And so you tend to have a negative response. The biggest part of his job is company, being sort of moral support, warm and fuzzy support. That's
I'm calm.
in the car,
No, I'm calm.
on call.
Yep.
Yes, he's there,
Yep.
keeping you company.
Yep. Yeah. Buddy.
Your buddy,
Yep.
your best friend.
Yep.
Is there any other kind of service or therapy that would come close to what a service dog can provide?
No.
Categorically.
No way.
My name is Blair Thomas. I'm 28 years old, and I'm diagnosed with Milner-Fraser syndrome. It's a brachial renal disease that I've been diagnosed at birth. It is a progressive condition. It affects my ability to breathe and swallow. It affects my renal function. And I became fully deaf around high school at the age of 16. And I used cochlear implant, and I've been fitted with a feeding tube since the beginning of this year. Koa is my St. Francis service dog. She helped make my invisible disability more visible to the public. She helped bring awareness to my disability. Sometimes I can be a little bit lost with my hearing deficit, and sometimes I can have a little bit of a headache spell that she will alert me to. One of the most interesting cases of my headache spell is she will actually bump her nose against my stomach, and I would go to check my feeding tube, and the line is completely empty. It was full of air, and that's when I knew that I needed to add more fluid and give it attention. Before Koa came into my life, it was a little bit scary as far as safety, and it was a little bit lonely. My closest friends and family were afraid if I was going to have a medical episode and not be able to feel it before it comes on. So she has been an extra sense of security and been able to ease everybody's mind. Koa has the ability to go out and get help if I needed help. If I were to be throwing up in the bathroom and I can't get up on my own, Koa will go out and get assistance I need. With Koa, I actually been having less spells. It's almost non-existent. It's amazing what Koa does for me.
Because of her hearing loss, Blair has cochlear implants that require expensive batteries she has to carry with her. Whenever she misplaces the batteries, she can activate from her phone a beeper in the pack that Koa has been trained to find and retrieve.
There they are! Thank you! Good girl! Good girl! Thank you! Koa is more than just a service animal. She can be on a leash, and she provides me comfort at home. She does deep pressure therapy. She's able to cover my legs. She's able to come up onto my bed every morning. She's my alarm clock. And it's just a good start of the day, having a companion, being so excited to spend time with you.
In addition to helping individual families, St. Francis also provides facility dogs for various sites throughout Virginia. During the pandemic, the Virginia Tech Health Sciences and Technology campus noticed higher than normal levels of stress and anxiety among medical students, researchers, and staff. St. Francis responded with Keeper. And then there's the work that April does every day at Blue Ridge Autism and Achievement Center.
So the Blue Ridge Autism and Achievement Center serves students 2 through 22. We have 3 locations, Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Lexington, and across those sites we have about 100 students. And then we do other services within our community. The partnership with St. Francis started about 10 years ago. Our CEO had a relationship with St. Francis with her son Joshua, and we started working with them, and we got our first facility dog, Deuce. And since then we now have our second facility dog, April, and we actually have a facility dog, Ginger, up in Lynchburg. So we have students with a variety of needs. So we have students who are very significantly impacted by their disabilities, and they work with the dogs to learn how to care for their own pets. So they learn how to walk April. They learn how to safely interact with animals and not be afraid of animals. So she's very patient and calm and kind to allow them to safely interact with her. We have students who are very high functioning, who utilize April to calm when they're starting to get frustrated. She'll go in the classroom and sit beside them to help ease them. And they also utilize her to run into school on time because they have time to see April. So they actually arrive to school early so they can come and lay on the floor with April before they go to class. And they sometimes earn time with April to play games or do things contingent on their behavior at school. So she serves sometimes as a reinforcer because she's such a powerful motivator for our students to do their best work and to interact with people in a polite and respectful way. She just really is such a positive force for our staff and for our students here at BRAC.
And then there is St. Francis's outreach to an unexpected population, inmates at Bland Correctional Center. Started in 2002, the Prison Pup program allows inmates in the honor dorm to receive the privilege of helping raise and train a puppy from 8 weeks until it's time for advanced training to begin. The pups receive round-the-clock care and training, and the inmates receive love, as well as something even more precious, the gift of being a contributing member of society while behind bars.
It's just a wonderful experience, and I'm proud to be a part. I'm proud to be a part of it.
I've actually been in here for 10 years, and it's made a difference in my life because I don't have any kids, and it gives me a lot of chance to be responsible for somebody or something that really looks to me for, support.
I've been down for a while now, and so a chance to get in here with these puppies and do something that is for the greater good and to help somebody else, it's just made me feel more like a person than I have in 10 years.
I think to me, it's awesome just knowing that I'm able to do something that's will benefit somebody on the outside. I said, I've been locked up 27 years. So just getting hurt for the first time and having an animal in yourself, it's so much stress off of you, so much relief. It's to see your little tail wagging first thing in the morning or when you leave the cell and come back, it's a great feeling.
We're so excited to talk with you about our upcoming Barks and Rec fundraiser for this year. We've done it the last 2 years, and it has been phenomenal. We've had people participate from all over, and we've had great success with it, and we're just ready to build on that for this upcoming year.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to helping you. I've been a past participant, so Barks and Rec is something that I already am familiar with and have some experience with, and I've got a new pup who I think will be really excited to participate. So what I've got for you today is a few suggestions on how to kind of amp up your social media campaign and really get more people involved with Barks and Rec and help more people figure out how to participate.
Right.
What we want to help happen here is get rid of that barrier to entry, right? Mm-hmm. We don't want people to say, oh, they're in Roanoke, I'm out.
Right.
Or, oh, I don't have a park in my neighborhood, I'm out. We want to give them lots of opportunities to participate in lots of different ways. So the idea is to really show, not tell, Barks and Rec. So that's lots of images of people doing things with a dog. And we can collect those from your archives and past Bark and Rec events. We can source a little bit of stock photography if we need to. And we can use your ambassadors to take photos of themselves doing things with their dogs. So we're going to front load a little bit, right? Yes. We're going to make sure we're getting on your hashtag early so that the first person to post doesn't find an empty hashtag. They've got a hashtag that's already showing them the things to do. And then generate some buzz around this social campaign up front with how to participate. So weekly, leading up to Barks and Rec in April, I would say starting about mid-February, we're going to post a how-to guide with a photo of someone doing something with their dog and how this is perfect for Barks and Rec.
Carrie, that sounds like such a great idea. We're super excited about that. It really supports the all-inclusive piece to this, but you can go around your neighborhood. You can have friends over and you can just collect pledges and have people support you in your activity that you do every single day. It's easy.
You can have a little doggy block party.
You can, yeah,
get all the dogs together.
Right, yeah. So, and the amazing thing that we have is we've got incredible partners that are already in these partner teams with their service dog, and they're out there doing things. all through Barks and Rec and leading up, which was really, really amazing.
Oh, it's so phenomenal. And having that content already there helps drive a campaign like this, right? Like, people want to engage because they see the fun that's happening in other places, and really kind of focus on that active engagement piece. And active doesn't mean I've got to go kayak the river for 3 hours, right? It means I'm doing something, anything. Like you said, it could be reading a book.
Yes.
So a great part of this campaign may be a picture of a child reading with their dog. That's the essence of Barks and Rec. It's everywhere for everyone, wherever you are.
That's exactly right. Well, Carrie, this sounds so great. We're so excited about this, and just getting out there and getting how to register and getting our images out there and showing people what they can do leading up to our week of April 17th to 23rd. We're just really, really excited, and we can't wait to see what we do moving forward.
Awesome. Well, I hope this is the most doggone fabulous Barks and Rec you've ever had.
It's going to be awesome.
My name is Jerry Barnes, and I've been involved with St. Francis for about 5 years. This dog is going to be very special to somebody in some place at some time, and I get to be part of that.